Hi, my name is Lisa Strahs-Lorenc, and I'm the author of Pancreatic Cancer Families Move On. I have with me today Sari Allison Medina, one of the contributors to the book. She happens to also be my daughter. So welcome, Sari.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. I'm glad
Sure.
to be here.
Sure. So, Sari, why don't you introduce yourself, where you live, and a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Sari Medina. I am Lisa's daughter, and I live in Los Angeles, California. I moved out here. I got After my dad's diagnosis, I actually decided to move to California, not knowing if he was going to live or die through it. And I've stayed out here since then.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about who you live with.
So, I am married and I have three children.
Those are my three granddaughters, by the way. So, Sari, tell us a little bit about why you got involved with the book.
So I definitely stand behind the meaning of why you did the book. I think that it's very important um, to have a book that explains to other families what happens with the process and the diagnosis and what other families go through when there is a cancer diagnosis in a family, and so that other people, because it's a whirlwind of craziness when you get a cancer diagnosis. You go from life being perfectly fine to life being chaotic and unknown. And I thought that it would be nice to contribute to something that would help support families.
No, that was definitely the meaning of it. And just give us a brief overview of your life and how you described it in the book itself.
So even though I wasn't the primary caretaker for my dad, a cancer diagnosis definitely takes you on this crazy journey where you don't know what's going to happen the next day and the next decision, and you're ready at any second to go home or to help out. Um, cancer just changes your life. So my journey, even though I wasn't my dad's caretaker, was every moment was unknown, and living so far away as well, it was beneficial to me and my emotional health because I wasn't seeing my dad deteriorating every single day. But at the same time, I missed those 18 months with him that I could have had that last time with him.
You came home a number of times, and
Mhm.
we certainly did some really special things during that time.
Yeah. Yeah, cancer is difficult because it's not like a heart attack. It's not that immediate death where you have all these unresolved, feelings and stuff. So with cancer, when you get the diagnosis, it's like, okay, you're going to get through this. And then you go from we're going to get through this to I don't think you're going to get through this, and you say your goodbyes, and ask for this, or the advice for this. It's different. There's a lot of closure with cancer, unfortunately. And on the flip side of getting closure, you watch somebody deteriorate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
tough.
it is tough. It's very tough. And so your life has certainly changed quite a bit. What's your hopes for what this book represents?
I hope this book helps families see that there is life after cancer. There is life during cancer. And even though it is a death diagnosis, being born is a death diagnosis, and you really never know when you're gonna die. And even though it's such a difficult time, that there is life during, before, and after. And if families can have some support for that, and my testimony through that as a daughter of somebody that had it, I hope that that brings some relief or support to other families.
Yeah. I think about having done your engagement and your wedding, and each time one of the children were born. And I kept saying, I don't know if I can do this alone. And I did. And each time his, memory was with me, And I thought about it, especially when we walked you down the aisle.
Yeah.
I thought I'm not going to be able to do this, and we did.
Well, and that thought is with everybody during any of those difficult times. It's like, how am I going to do this? But you don't have a choice. You just take a step forward. How do I do that next special event by myself, or how do I like walk into that hospital room where my grandchild's being born? But you just do it.
You
You
do.
you don't have a choice when somebody else passes away. You don't have those choices. You just take your step forward and you continue on with your life without that person being there. So it's more difficult, but your life doesn't end.
Right.
And you treasure those moments that the person was with you, because the other option would be that they weren't there. Like, if you knew cancer was going to take that person, would you go back in time and not have them in your life? Of course not. I mean, that's just craziness. Would it take away the pain? No, because you wouldn't know what the meaning of life would be if you didn't give your soul and your emotion to somebody else.
That's true. And one more thing. Do you do anything that keeps the memory of your dad alive?
It's tough. It really is tough, because things start to fade and you don't have those same pictures, and you don't create new memories. Like, on Facebook, people are posting things about what they did with their families recently, but you don't have that. Your memories stop in time for that person. So you have to constantly have something that you remember. So when we go on road trips, we think of how dad used to take road trips with us. And when I cook like Polish, food for my kids and Zoe likes it, it's like, yeah, dad used to make that too. Or like I make meatloaf that dad would make.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional about keeping that memory for that person, because there's no more.
Yes. Yes. And it was you who suggested that we do an online memorial site,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, I
love.
think it's very therapeutic to see other people contributing and remembering, and it's like that a community of memories of that person. And that helps, but it's still not going to bring the person back.
Sure. Sure. But for me, it does keep him, you know, again, those memories
Mm-hmm.
alive for me.
Yeah.
Going back into the site and adding another
Mm-hmm.
picture
Yeah.
of the children, the grandchildren, and even writing in the journal. Very
Yeah.
helpful, very therapeutic. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we don't forget the people who have left us,
Right.
but
Of course.
we have moved on with our lives. Our lives are very different.
Yeah. I mean, with the death of anybody, whether it's cancer or any type of death, the clock never stops. It
Yes.
doesn't. The clock doesn't care who died or who lived. It just goes to the next time. And you either choose to wallow in some type of sadness forever, or you take a step forward and you move on. And it's not forgetting them, because they're gone anyway. So they don't feel anymore. They don't have birthdays anymore. They're not there anymore. But you can definitely still keep the memory of that person.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you, Sari. It meant a lot to me that you contributed to this book.
Thank you
And
for allowing me to contribute. I'm glad that I was a part of it.
yeah, and the pictures really say a lot. Lots of pictures in the book that show children, grandchildren, just
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I think the good thing about the book is also that it's from a lot of different people's perspectives. It's not just all daughters or all caretakers or
Mm,
all spouses. And I think that's important, because not everybody fits into this box that, pancreatic cancer is. It's not. Pancreatic cancer destroys all lives, doesn't care about race, religion, color, anything. It
yes,
destroys everybody.
yes, yes. Well, thanks again, especially
Thank
because it's nice and early there in California.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, best to you. Kiss
Mhm.
my grandchildren.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you, Mom.
Bye. Yeah, bye.